Little PM. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday morning mastermind call, Daily Refinement. On Wednesday, it is public on YouTube. The other days, it's private in my Patreon. Today's topic is how to double your reselling business. So I'm going to go around the horn and just ask people what they would do to double it. Is it twice as many hours? Most people don't have that. Is it twice the profit per item? Is it sourcing twice as much? Is it twice as many listings? How would you go about doubling your business? We can start with Suzanne. Suzanne, what do you think you would do to double your business? Do you need more hours, list different items? What do you think?
I think I would probably list more items. I think the better I get, if I list more items, I'm going to sell more items. That's my thought. But
Yep. So a couple of things happen when you list more items. You definitely are going to sell more items no matter what. The sell-through rate generally does go down though. So usually if you double your number of listings, you don't double your profit, especially if it's too similar of the items. Then you may only sell a couple more, even though you doubled. Let's say you go from 10 to 20. You might still sell 10 if the items are too similar. So that's why I say the success rate needs to be high variety, high volume. If it's small variety, high volume, doubling won't get you there. So actually, I just realized that I usually don't recommend this, but double variety in the same category. That's going to be what is like a really good way of doing it. Just like you sell sneakers, now you sell boots, now you sell sandals, now you sell flip flops, making a little bit more balance. And I would say that every 200 listings is the metric to measure. So Harry put in the chat, you have to be careful not to let your metrics slip when you increase listing. So let's say that you're at 200 items, you sell one item a day. If you go to 400 items, you should sell two a day. If not, I would not go to 600 or 800. I would just slow down, rework things, and continue. Jamie, do you have a comment or you want to go next? You're on mute. Or I mean, well, we can't hear your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to contradict you completely because what I found is by I think if I wanted to double my business, I think I would only have to increase my listing by 30%.
Okay.
I found a compounding effect. The more listings you put up, the more traffic you get. And if you already have stuff in your store and obviously quality, good products in your store.
Mm-hmm.
But I've honestly found that I think I could double by just increasing my listing by 30% just because of more exposure.
So this is important because the more exposure happens generally with a higher variety. So let's say, for example, you saw magazines like Jamie, and you went from Architecture Digest, and then you added Good Housekeeping or something. That's a different kind of traffic, and I think overall good. But if you did 30% more, just Architectural Digest, I don't know if 30% more would double your sales in that scenario. That really depends on the category. Like also like if you're selling Apple watches, everything sells within 1 month. So if you double your listings, you're guaranteed to get double the sales. So it really depends on the category. But I think that generally speaking, everyone is like an everything seller. So they're not super niche. And if you're not super niche, you generally already have high variety. So
I think too,
Jamie,
with the added 30, I mean, you have to factor in that I'm promoting at 15%. So
yep.
that added 30%, and then you tack the promoted onto it. I think that maybe doubles it to 60% increase.
Okay. There's another thing that you could do to double your sales. You could increase your promoted rate. So yesterday, somebody asked me what my promoted rate is on whatnot. And it actually depends on how competitive it is. If I'm streaming at 4:30 in the morning, not very many people are awake. So I don't need to promote very much. If I'm streaming at 6 p.m. in the evening, that's when everybody streams. So like that is very, very competitive. If you're selling video games, um, if you're selling what just came out, you're gonna have to promote a lot or be a little bit cheaper than everybody else. Um, I don't know. I'm glad that we're talking about all these different variables. But mostly like you can't sell twice as much without twice as much stuff generally. Let's go with owner. Good morning. I don't have you on your name is not on the Zoom. Let me see. Let me grab somebody else. Emmy, is your name Mary? You're new to the group. Mary, do you want to chat? Maybe tell us a little bit about you and then what you would do to double your business.
Okay, well, really new here, although I have sold a little bit, bought and sold on eBay in the past. So at the moment, I'm, yeah, in the everything sort of category. I'm trying to unload some old textbooks, but I'm also finding other interesting books, like just things that I've read, but I don't think I want to keep them. I'm trying to create a little bit more space. I have things like graphic T-shirts that I'm like, yeah, that's funny, but I'm not wearing it too much anymore. Some nice Eileen Fisher things as well there too that I'm not using so much. A lot of I'm kind of also interested in collecting things that I would use in musical instrument repair. So some of the things I'm starting out with, I'm kind of wondering if I'm making things a little bit difficult for myself, but it'll be an interesting learning curve. I expect it's going to take a while to sell books, sell some other things, but some things that can be sold right away are like when I finish a knitting project and I have some nice yarn left over and I put that out and it's like, oh, maybe I should have charged some more because it went so quick. So I have a big mix of things that are going on there. So just, oh, and also to double things. I think I would try to go for like, as I just mentioned, the yarn and how that goes really quickly. Certain brands are going to be more popular than others, so I would keep an eye out for things that I know are going to be more popular, and try to resell those.
You know you can buy fabric in squares, I think, for like
Yes,
quilts and such.
yes.
And those businesses that sell those are enormous.
Hmm.
Like the I saw a quilt or a square of the month club where you get a square every month to do projects. It had 12 million subscribers.
Wow.
And it was like $50 a month for like a bunch of fabric in a box.
Hmm.
And they had I thought this is interesting too. The brand does matter.
Yes.
So, the fabric, it could be like quality fabric, but not a good brand.
Hmm.
It could be a good brand and mediocre product, but it's just a good brand.
Hmm.
Pattern. So I think it's cool that you do that because if you can recognize the differences between the brands and the quality and the color and the patterns, that would help a lot with reselling.
Yeah. There's some fabric that I do like to collect, and some things where I've been like, I'd like to make a shirt out of it. I haven't gotten around to it, but yeah, if I were to cut it into smaller pieces, it's, a brand called Liberty that is out of England. And I think some quilters who may not want to get a whole yard would probably be happy with, I guess they do like rolls. So like one long strip or something, like use it as an accent. So, well, anyways, in short, thank you. That's a great idea. I do have a lot of fabric as well, in addition to all the yarn.
In the shoe category, people who, because you said something I actually never heard. You said you collect yarn,
Hmm.
which
Yes.
I literally have never heard that before. I didn't know people collected yarn, but it makes sense
Hmm.
because people who are getting the square of the month, they can't be possibly be doing that they can't use all of it every single month.
Yeah.
And then it made me realize in this shoe category, a lot of sneaker collectors buy two, sell one, and keep one. So maybe if you find fabric you like, you buy two, and then, or like you said, use only part of the roll. I love that idea.
Hmm. Yeah.
Uh, so you mentioned you would list more. You would list more items you already have to double your sales.
Well, um, or I'd focus a little bit on, well, I mean, I have what I have. but as I'm looking for things that are on sale or whatever, to think about what might be more popular. And again, with some of the books as well, as I'm sort of going through things there, it's like, I know someone's probably going to like that one, but I'm looking at a couple of others and I'm like, there's book collection bins, and that one's kind of out of date, that maybe I should funnel things there. So it's kind of thinking about what someone might really want. And I don't know, maybe I'm still in the phase where I just ought to list everything and just keep track, see how many months it takes.
Sounds good. Thank you. Harry, good morning. Do you have a comment or do you want to go next on how to double your business?
Oh, well, I was just gonna say, she said something about repairing musical instruments, so that got my attention. What instruments do you deal with?
I played the violin when I was a kid, for about 10 years. I did pretty well at it. It's kind of funny. I like music. I don't like the violin. So anyways, at some point when I went back to grad school, they also had something during the summer that wasn't related to what I was learning. It's just at the University of New Hampshire, they have a violin making school. And so I took up bow making, and there's a lot going on. Like, selling bows is kind of an advanced thing, but repairing bows, violin, viola, and cello, is always needed. And so that's where I actually buy up big lots of violin and bows, that they're like, we're not too sure that these are in good shape. And so they're good practice for refurbishing.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. No, I get it. I do mainly brass and percussion, but I play violin, and I have fixed and redone violins and resold them, but I've just found they're
Good
hard
stuff.
and not a lot of profit. So yeah, so maybe we should talk at some point.
Okay. Right. Thank you.
Harry, do you want to share what you would do to double your business?
Sure. Video on. What would I do? I was thinking about that, and I think it would have to be a combination. Um, Partially buying higher end items, because I mean, at least right now, I'm kind of at the limit of my processing ability. And so I've been touching on buying higher end instruments, and there's always that give and take on how long it takes to sell, and how aggressive to be on price. So I think it'd have to be that, but you have to increase the number of listings too. So I think it's not an either or. You have to do both.
I just realized I guess it's all variations of either wider or deeper. And if you go deeper, you have to do what Jamie did and sort of like promote to get the extra sales if you're going to be doing similar items. Like, let's just say you had one item, you had only wireless speakers, and you had 10 listed. If you had 20 listed, you wouldn't necessarily double your sales. But if you, because I also realized that this question is kind of loaded, because I want everyone listening to double their profit. You don't just want twice as many sales but lower your profit margin to zero too. That's not the point. Also with yarn, at least here in the Bay Area, yard bombing is really popular, where they cover things in yarn. So it makes me, because like there's a lot of broken things in the city that are ugly, and now they're beautiful because they're covered in yarn. Like phone booths are really popular here, since they don't serve any purpose. They get covered in yarn. So that makes me wonder. It's just, fabric is just a way bigger part of people's lives than I think anybody realizes. Thank you, Harry. So a combination of listing more and better items. Kevin, good morning.
Morning. Sorry I missed you earlier. I'm
You're all good.
I actually currently am trying to pretty much do what you're saying. And I think the number one thing that I'm trying to focus on myself, that I think is probably good advice, is honestly just patience. Not moving ahead, but not moving too fast. And not I just think I could screw the pooch if I move too fast. So ultimately, it's going to be selling more things on my end, and that means more listings. So to get to where I'm double my sales, I need to get to 18 listings, and I've just been adding one listing per day every 2 weeks. And we were at 8. Now we're at 13. We're gonna move to 14 on Sunday, and then just kind of keep on slowly chugging ahead.
I love it. Yeah. And I think the way Kevin just mentioned it, which is like let's just assume he's at 9 because he needs to get to 18 to double his sales, right? Um, you would go over your schedule, you'd go over what you're listing, your processing power, all that stuff to get through it. Larry, good morning.
Morning. This should come as no surprise to anybody that's been around. For me, to double my business, it would be sourcing. If I could get in twice as many high quality, higher ASP items, I could process them and I could double my money. It's hard to find at the ASP that I'm shooting for or that I've been averaging lately. It's really hard to be consistent in the sourcing. Sometimes, my goal is 10. I'm fairly consistent at 10, but occasionally I'll drop down to 2 or 3 just because I don't have anything to put up.
So I have a question for you. Is sourcing better a matter of figuring out how to source more hours? Is it different people? How do you get more opportunity?
What I'm trying to do is go more institutional business to business type of stuff, so I'm less reliant on the summertime estate sale, garage sale rush or season, the seasonality. But we'll see. But that's where my head's at for this is establishing more business to business relationships.
Got it. If anybody else that doesn't have their camera on wants to share, let me know on how you would double your business. And ultimately what I mean is double your profit. So I heard a couple things that I want to reshare today because we're public and they really, 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 really helped me. One was kids don't always listen, but kids always imitate. Okay, so when I tell my daughter, say thank you to uncle for giving you a candy, she's 3. She has no idea what I'm talking about. She doesn't know what the purpose of saying thank you. She has no idea. So she just stares at me. She knows I want something and she knows she has something in her hand, but there's no connection there. So even though I told her what to do, she doesn't know. But if I say thanks, uncle, she's now put together. There's something connected to her getting something from uncle and me thanking uncle. And now she's going to think a little bit about that. So instead of me saying, say thank you, she doesn't know what that means. She says me say thank you, she copies. So when I did the live event a couple Saturdays ago, people were saying they learned so much from watching people do it because there's people at my office doing things. So they could see the schedule in action. Everyone at my warehouse is working the entire time. So most people who work for themselves have never seen that. Right now, one of the most beneficial things is watching Kevin work in the top left screen. People can see him doing things. I want that. So I'm actually going to set up a 24-hour feed in my warehouse because my warehouse operates almost 24/7. So if people want to see what's going on, they can see. Another way that I'm going to show you guys what it looks like right now. This is just like cameras at work, but I can hook this up so you guys can see. I can see my shippers getting to work right now, getting it going. Let me see, hold on. Let me close this real quick so you can see. Okay, these are the boxes that we need for shipping today. So they're already pre-made so that the shipper can save time when doing the shipping. But everyone's job now at work is to make sure there's nothing on the floor. It's super clean. It's swept. Everything is ready to go. And having it be super duper duper clean has a tremendous difference on productivity. You can see now that I've been doing this longer, there's more open space. Also, if any of you guys have any ideas on how I can sell these ride along Batmobiles, that would be great, because I misjudged how big they are and they're harder to sell than I thought. Anyway, right here on the floor, I have everything marked. So this is mail that's going to be going out today. And for me to double my business, currently we sell about 6 of these giant bins a day. So I would need 12 bins of shipping. And this goes back to what Kevin was saying earlier. When you go from 9 listings a day to 18 listings a day, everything changes. How you go to the post office changes, how you get ready changes, how you source changes, your storage system changes. So like when people say I'm going to double my listings, it almost hurts my feelings, because I'm like, do you even know what you just said? Like, you want to add 10, do you even know what that is? Adding 10 listings it's such an insult to reselling by saying, I'm going to double my listings next week. Because like, if you're really going to do that, it would be like such a tremendous difference. And we're talking just $10 an item profit. You're talking about increasing your pay by $36,000. How many people here have had a $36,000 raise at work? I mean, it's just like, it's not a thing.
That's why when people talk that way, I don't even take them seriously sometimes. I kind of just ignore that person, thinking you're just not smart. Or you have zero, or you're taking yourself to zero life and you're going to completely just be a hermit and live in your office all day long.
I think it's just lack of experience when you say, like, because doubling your listings is so hard. It's so much harder than people think. And especially in the very, very beginning, because there's just, it's what Larry said, and it's what Larry and Harry are going through, like getting the right items and then also processing it. Because when you get a higher end item, it takes a lot more processing. So as an example, I tend to have more fraud in my business above $40. So if I was selling fabric, I wouldn't want to sell like rare $500 fabric, because there's a lot of work involved with, like, where did it come from? Um, why do you have it? How is it shipped? I got it and it's 12 yards and you said it was 13. I mean, that doesn't happen under $40. Over $40, everything becomes a totally different game. So I watched so in on whatnot, I don't sell cards, but cards is the largest category. Because cards is such high fraud, there are some streams that have a camera from when the item arrives from the supplier. From that point, all the way to where it is stored, all the way to when somebody sells it, all the way shipping it, and all the way handed to the post office driver. The entire thing is filmed. So when Chase Bank says, hey, Bob said that he didn't get this, he says it's something different, they can email Chase Bank or whatever bank and say, nope, he got exactly what we said it was. We literally filmed the entire thing. And that's how intense it is on the far, far end. Versus somebody's buying new shoelaces for their shoes for $4. They don't care. So Jamie, I bought these bat cars and Batmobiles for kids, and I for some reason I thought they were really small, like, because they're for toddlers, but it's 86 pounds, and it can't be shipped, except for UPS will take it, but it's $270 to ship it. So like that's more than the cost of the car. So I have to sell them local pickup.
Or do giveaways with them and only charge shipping.
Yeah, I guess you give them away, and then but who's going to pay $270 in shipping?
I will, for one.
You need a massive write-off? Can you give them away at Christmas time at some homeless shelter or something?
You know what? That's an important point for tomorrow's tax call. I can't write it off because I already wrote it off when I bought it. So yeah. I think everybody here would also double their productivity if they were on camera, right? Because like I can look at my guy right now and be like, hey, I mean, he's not really doing anything wrong right now, but he's sorting the labels right now before he starts. But I just think that there's nothing for him to do at work. in a few minutes, he'll have all the shipping set up to start for today. But there's nothing for him to do here except for ship. There's nothing here. It's only shipping. So like that would help everyone's productivity so much to not have anything distracting where they're at. Okay, this is really important too. Jamie said that upping his list. Okay, let's back up for just a second. If Jamie wanted to double his listings, it would not take twice as much time. That's the caveat that I think is so important. We want doubling of our profit same time. So that can be achieved only with better process or better items. Or twice as much space, 100%. Space is so huge. It's really helped me so much having open space. Everything processes a lot faster, and everything is so like here today we're shipping a whole bunch of shoes. So like all these boxes are already pre-made. This is going to save this guy so much time. I wonder if you guys should do that. I think everyone here, how much is a Ring camera? 40 bucks? I feel like everyone here should set up a Ring camera so you can see your whole workspace. It literally, like, I want to say it doubled my business just looking at having cameras. Like a
I would
literally.
add to your having more space, Chris, is better organization of the space.
But sometimes you can't see what your mess looks like. You need like a wide angle camera from the top corner. Because like Kevin could be hiding a lot of BS right now. Because he can only see this tiny portion of it. Yeah, see? It looks fine. But it is a lot of stuff.
One thing I found, if you want to force yourself to get your to do a deep look on that, is invite somebody over that you're planning on showing or show the stuff. And there's nothing like the embarrassment of a mess to light a fire to get you to run through and clean it up. But unfortunately for me, that only lasts until they leave, and then it starts up again.
So is
But
the key to
at
life,
least it'll be clean for that period of time.
so is the key to life just having a neighbor that comes over every Friday night to play board games and you just have to impress them? Because that works. We have family over every week. It makes our house clean. Otherwise, they'll be like, why is your house so messy?
I think I need to plan better when I have shipments come in so it can all be put away better. Because I got a lot of stuff that arrived in one day and the plan to process it was not good.
Agreed. So, okay, I have something I want to share with you guys, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but everyone that's on this call, you're already way better than a normal reseller, but you just average for a professional reseller. Me too. And that's okay. So like I went to the doctor on Monday to find out what this bone is on my wrist, or what this lump is. And he said, this is not gout, it's a bone. So I need an x-ray. If it was gout or if it was ganglion cyst, it would be soft. This isn't soft, this is hard. I need an x-ray. So then I took an x-ray, and he's like, I can't tell from the x-ray. We need an ultrasound. And I'm like, why don't we do the ultrasound first? And he's like, oh, sometimes I can tell by the x-ray, but this time I can't. So I'm like, that's like 300 bucks to go in there for 2 minutes for an x-ray that we could have just skipped anyway. And so then they said, oh, I can't even schedule an ultrasound until a radiologist reviews it. So now it's like this huge thing. But anyway, the reason I bring this up is my blood pressure is 120 over 80. And all of my markers are quote unquote normal. But because I'm of Asian descent, he's like, you're like normal for a white guy, but you're fat for an Asian guy. But you don't want to compare yourself against normal. You want to compare yourself against healthy people. So all the metrics that you see online, those are for average people. You don't want to be an average person. You want to be healthier than the average person, unless you want to just live, the average person lives to like 73. You want to try to be as healthy as possible. So it's the same for us. Sometimes I'm telling you guys things and um people think that like the stuff that I'm telling you guys might be too advanced or like not applicable, but I think it is, because like I don't want you guys to just barely pay your bills or just be average. I want your businesses to be really, really, really in order. Miss Tisha, well, good morning.
Hi, good morning. I've been on the call just watching every day, listening, trying to figure out how to do things better.
Mhm.
And I've just been struggling trying to figure out if I should just donate everything to Goodwill and start from scratch. Let me put that camera. Let me see. How do I'm trying to show you guys what I did. I got
Nice.
some racks and I got the board set up. So when I walk up to it, but my problem is the light from there is not
Yep.
strong enough. So it's just I've been struggling because I have so much like things
Yep.
and it's just getting out of control.
You have so much potential with this, but go ahead.
And then, sorry, let me walk you guys out here. I got the rack that you told me to get, that you told us to get, because I've been
Yep.
watching you for a long time. But then I have an issue because, hold on.
Girl, look
I
at
bought
your
the rack
face.
and now look, I end up using the rack
Right.
as a storage for my own stuff.
Yep.
And then it's just, I'm just trying to get organized and it's really hard when I really just don't know really what I'm doing. But I'm trying. So
It's Tisha, right?
yeah, Letitia. I mean,
Oh.
I've just been just trying to figure things out, but it's tough. And it's like I took over my whole living room, you know?
Okay. What state do you live in?
I'm in Georgia. I'm in Suwannee.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah,
Okay. I'm glad that you should have showed me this months ago. I can give you some ideas. You ready?
yeah, I'm ready.
You should sit down for this.
Hold on, let me go back. Sorry.
No,
Oh my
you're good.
goodness.
You're good. I love the tour. I love the tour. Nice place.
I'm trying to like hold on. I want to go back up to my office. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. It's taken over your whole house.
Oh my, not only is it taking over my house, I also have like a section where I'm organizing with my daughter because I try to do like everything. So
I love it. Thank you so much for this tour.
then back to my sorry
I
guys.
think you're really organized, I would say, for it taking over your whole house.
And then I'm trying to organize my hold on, let me take you guys here.
This is like cribs. I love it. Okay.
But yeah. And I'm trying to do a YouTube video. I just can't get started. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Okay. My mind is blown. Okay. So much here. Okay. So first off, you have a really good amount of space. If you were fully organized, you could definitely have everything in your garage if you wanted to. Well, one thing that I would keep though is the windows that you have in your photo area. I don't know if you can open the blinds or like open those completely, but like you have the ability to also use sunlight. You need two front facing lights that would cure your photo
I
problems,
need more
because
lights.
you need two box lights.
Okay.
So yeah, you need two
Two
front
boxes.
box lights in front of the gray background that you have, and that mixed with the natural light from the sun is going to create perfect photos, because you have both. So like I'll show you. Okay. This is also a bolo for people. This brand New Works. So this is Les's photo setup. She has
Mhm.
it's just a white wall, but on the opposite side there's natural light like yours. And she has, let's see, this is the one she sold. This sold in 12 minutes. It's pretty cool. I like this brand. New Works. So this photo to me is super natural. It's what the garment looks like, right? And you don't need more than that for photos. And it's because the reason, in my opinion, why it looks so much better than most photos is because it's a combination of natural light and two lights.
Okay.
So just having two, you need two box lights because it's too dark. But you have the natural sun, which is going to make the colors look really good. And I would somehow open the window as much as you can.
Okay, so get two box lights.
Yep. Two
But
box
I
lights.
already have two box lights.
Oh, I didn't see
Let-
them in the
Hold,
tour.
hold on, let me go back down.
Okay.
How do I switch the camera?
And on the front of it, there's like a reverse. Let's see, it's
Okay.
like a circle button. Yeah,
Shouldn't
Okay.
we see what her photos look like first before we talk about making them better?
that's
And
true.
then I have, oh my God, this place.
You could have a 20,000 item store. Your place is enormous.
Hold on.
Yeah, you might have amazing photos. That's true.
Okay, so
Oh, you do have them. Okay, you're good. I'm just so happy you have natural light. That's all. I'm just like making me. No, that's perfect. I'm just so happy that that's there, and it's on the opposite side of the photos. This is exactly what you would need for perfect photos. Combination of both. Yeah, it's so good.
yeah, I have a whole bunch of things like my husband's sneakers he don't want anymore.
What's your husband think?
He thinks I'm crazy and I'm junking in the house. And he just thinks I'm crazy.
Well, let's get a. You're already very organized. You just need a little bit of a better system so that there's not stuff everywhere. Jamie?
Hey, Tish, I think all
Yeah.
husbands think their wives are crazy.
He's like, what is wrong with you? He's like, what are you trying to do here? Like, what's the point? He's like, just get
Yeah.
rid of this crap. And I'm like, it's not crap. This is like stuff like my daughter's clothes. We
Yeah.
have so much clothes because, she's my only child. She's my first kid. And yeah, I just went crazy.
So one kid.
Yeah, one kid. All this stuff is hers.
Got it. Okay. So what's your experience with selling?
I don't know if you remember, but you had did a video on me because I'm a military family and
Yep.
we move a lot. So my husband is out now. So I've been selling. Like everything is slow now because I'm just slowing down trying to get organized and doing exactly step by step,
Yep.
what you're saying in your videos. So I got
How
a
many
head
items?
back.
How many items are in your store?
Right now it's about I think it's like 300.
300. Okay. And where are those items stored?
Right here. Everywhere.
So what's the system for how do you find something when it sells? Where is it? In one of those laundry bins?
Yeah. I just go and try to find it. It's like a disaster. I'm throwing stuff up. I go crazy trying to figure out.
Okay.
So that's why I'm starting all over. And I brought these racks so I could do everything properly.
Okay. And then what's your listing goal each day?
I want to list at least 10.
Okay. And then is a lot of the stuff just family stuff, or do you have stuff you're also buying to resell?
A lot of it is just family stuff and stuff that my husband had, like this top right here. He never wore and he doesn't want it. So we have a lot of things. It's just random. It's like everything, a little bit of,
Okay. So a couple things. I love the idea of 10 a day. It's a little bit different of a strategy when you have your own stuff. So like when I was selling my own stuff, I was just trying to get whatever the item was worth. It wasn't really designed to like meet my profit metric. Like generally, how old's your daughter? Can I ask?
She's 7.
Generally 0 to 7 clothes aren't worth much. You've got to put like you've got to do bundles and lots. And I would recommend like Facebook Marketplace, like putting that whole pile and just saying $50. I wouldn't I wouldn't list that stuff individually.
Really? Because it's a lot of good stuff like Ralph Lauren, and they have like different sets. You see,
I know, but it's a
with the
long time, and people who buy stuff from 1 to 7 generally look for lots. If they're pre-owned, they're pre-owned. If they're
okay,
new, maybe I would list them, but I wouldn't list 0 to 7. I mean, like, what are you going to ask for? Like, even Ralph Lauren, baby. I mean, not like a 4-year-old Ralph Lauren stuff. That's like generally sub $10.
okay. So just do it in bulk.
I
And
would, unless anybody here thinks that they should do it. So Lauren is saying she's done some kids stuff for 25 plus. I guess if it's really cute, I'd have to see it.
Like,
okay,
if you have a puffer jacket that's a North Face or Ralph Lauren, I mean, I've sold those for over $20. And then some of the, like, I've sold Ralph Lauren cardigans, little girl sizes for between 15, like 10 to 15, 10 to 20. If it, especially if it has the horse rider, and then little dresses. I mean, sometimes they can go for $20, but I think it just has to be special, or lotting them. I mean, would be great too. And you have the power of the brand plus a lot of multiple
okay,
pieces. And then I've sold some boutique brands like there's one Beaufort Bonnet Company. So I'm in Alabama. I don't know. I think that might be like based out of South Carolina maybe. But I've
uh-huh.
sold those little dresses, and I'm trying to think of other brands, but I know those ones for sure.
So if
Okay,
you're gonna do,
okay.
sorry, go ahead, Lauren.
Oh, I'm good. I think she was going to say something.
No, I was like, so you want me to bulk it, and then I also have. Let me show you guys real quick. On the other side, I'm thinking about bundling this stuff because she has a lot of stuff here too, like toys.
Yeah, you have a lot of potential. Also, with a military family, if you guys are moving a lot, you can theoretically move an eBay store.
No, we're not set. We're settled here now.
For
So
yourself.
yeah, we're not moving. Yeah.
Let me show you some expensive kid stuff.
Okay.
You can do expensive kid stuff. It just needs to be a little bit special. So here's like, I've never heard of this brand Bond Point, but apparently very expensive. Um, but it clean photos, and kids stuff is so cute that as long as it's photographed well, it can sell. Generally, it's like a um, it doesn't need to be fancy the way the setup is. And kids stuff sells well. It just needs to be presented properly. And it's just, I don't know. I feel like kids clothes is harder than adults, but
So what I found a little bit is that I've only picked selectively from like my higher end consignment store when it was discounted, and that was kind of like my learning. And it can be hard, but sometimes with the brands, there's more limited stock, so it can sell faster. So I don't like, I sold this onesie. I think it was like size 12 months. It was linen. It was some brand Oof or something out of New York. And I sold it for like $35. So that I guess is the other side. Like there's less supply available. So sometimes you can get like more of the full retail.
yeah. And I think that just don't be, yeah, it just needs to be a little bit more unique. Look at these baby foam posits. These are really cute. Baby stuff is awesome.
I feel like it goes faster when I put it on Poshmark sometimes
Me
rather than
too.
eBay. So I was thinking that maybe I should just put kid stuff on Poshmark and my other clothing on eBay.
I feel like people are looser with their money on Poshmark. Just because I don't know like for Les's store and my store, the prices on Poshmark are much higher. But it also might be just the Poshmark is mainly clothing and eBay is everything. But you can definitely sell kids stuff. It's just right now you need to go through the process of learning how to sell and just go through everything one by one, donate or list or put on Facebook Marketplace, go through all of it, and then you'll have a nice chunk of change at the end of that. Lauren is saying the Posh audience probably has kids. I agree. I'd say Poshmark is like 30 to 60 female generally.
My wife shops for a lot of kids' clothes on Macari. I don't know if that's a place to, and definitely by a lot. You're definitely right on that. My wife does not look for individual items. She tries to figure out how do I get all my kids' clothes and all their shorts right now.
I think I got like 2 sales on Macari. Sorry.
No, you're good. No, I was just thinking about me buying for my kid. My kids aren't that old yet, but like we might buy a dress for my daughter and look for a specific dress in her size, right? But if we're just looking for basic clothes, we want a lot if we can. Like there's so much of it. Yeah, Kiddison is also all kids for sure.
Maybe try a yard sale.
Yard sale might be a good idea too. I'm envious of your space.
And here I am thinking I don't have enough space. If not, I just don't know how to use it, I guess.
Yeah, it needs to be a little bit more organized. Well, I mean, the shelves are not supposed to be for storage.
The other day, we got a big bubble in here.
Can I see it? Come here, let me see it.
Last time, you have a big bubble in here.
I don't have a big boo-boo. Let me see. I did not have a big boo-boo.
Well, you didn't have a big bubble in here.
No, I didn't. Do you have a big boo-boo? Why does she have band-aids? Oh.
Why?
She wants me to have a boo-boo so she can use the band-aids. Catherine, you're in a new space. Topic of the day is how do you double your business? Catherine, what do you think? Topic is how do you double your business?
Oh, yesterday I actually stopped working at 2. I was just on all day. I had energy. So I was just clicking through everything. I feel the same way today. So I don't know. I'm just getting better sleep, but I could easily add probably 5 to 10 listings a day if I continue in this way, if I continue being done by 2, because I had time to paint. I had time to do some errands. And last night I didn't have any listings that I needed to do. And that makes it healthier for me the next day.
Okay.
You know, because I didn't have to do listings last night, I could relax and do other things. And that gives me more energy for the next day. So that's how I can double my business, is work less time, but more efficiently.
Interesting. Yeah, isn't that like I'm going on vacation next week. Suddenly that week you're way more productive.
Yeah, and I just got off of vacation and I felt like last week the whole week I had to kind of catch up on things, including my energy level, because we had a lot of company at the lake, and my sister and her daughters are all incredibly loud, and I'm an introvert, so at some point I just have to leave people and kind of regroup. And so this week is where I feel more on task, and I know I have more energy today because I didn't have to work right up to bedtime last night. I could do whatever I wanted last night.
Yep.
And just having that mental burden sort of off me, I think helped me sleep better. And then knowing that I could do that makes me want to do it again today. And I'm hoping I just keep on that train.
Catherine, I think if I were gonna I think that's true. So if I'm thinking about what Larry is working on, which is like getting more B2B suppliers, in theory, right? Everyone here, there's a business that could sell you the items that you need to sell for a profit. Let's say that you're supplying, if I was supplying Mary and Suzanne with fabric, and they told me um, I need 70 pieces of fabric a week that I can make $10 profit on that are all the same size. And I knew that. And I could send them like recurring on Monday morning, it arrives or let's say it arrives on Friday for the following week. They open up the box, start listing. That exists in every single category. But how do you find that person, right? I actually think that what you just said, Catherine, might be the key to what Larry needs. I actually think that in order for me to be sharp enough to find the right suppliers, I probably need a little more sleep, to be honest. Like if you don't have, because it's like a war zone trying to figure out supply chain, because everyone that has the supply that you need is busy, right? And inaccessible. So like you need to figure out who is in charge, who makes a decision, and how to get on the recurring situation. That for Harry, there's somebody out there that they're like, man, I have 50 instruments each week I need to get rid of. That person exists somewhere. Right. And you're the solution they're looking for, but how do you find them? Blues Goods, do you want to go over what you would do to double your business?
Sure. I'm currently actually trying to ramp up my business a little bit. I might be on a bit of an aggressive timeline, but I'm currently at 10 listings a day. Um, I've been on that for quite some time now, about 8 months or so, but I'm starting to up it to a week until I get to about 30. By the way, I run the business with my partner. So we do have two people that kind of complement each other on each other's strengths. She does a lot of the listing. I do a lot of the pictures, putting away, sourcing. So we're trying to get to between 25 and 30 a day between the two of us. And that might be a little bit aggressive.
I love it.
But that's kind of where we're at right now. I'm not sure that. Yeah, I think the only way to double is it just doubling your output? It starts to feel, I mean, doing 10 a day, as I've gotten up to like 14, even 16 a day, it doesn't really feel much different in terms of work, honestly.
Yeah, I think you're a chef.
Go ahead.
You're a chef, right?
Yes.
You wouldn't have to work twice as many hours to produce twice as much food either.
That's exactly correct. And that's kind of how I look at it. In fact, you could probably, the setting up and the organization and the getting started is kind of like the hardest part, but it really starts to kind of like roll downhill after that. And you can double your output in half the time. So I could probably do 20. So if doing 10 listing or doing 10, 10, 10 in a day takes me about an hour to 2 hours of work in a day, the reality is to do 20, it takes me about 2 to 2.5 hours.
This is so funny. I was watching a barbecue competition, and they had 5 teams making barbecue. First for a regular dinner service, and it was like I don't know, they had 5 teams cooking for like 50 people. Then the next day, they had these same 5 people cook for 500 people for like a tailgate party, right? And what's interesting is that it took almost the exact same amount of time to cook. The prep was totally different.
Right.
Cooking time was almost identical, even though it was 10 times the output.
Right.
So yeah, that's so interesting because nobody said I would need more preparation to double my business.
Right.
I mean, I guess that maybe everybody already knows that.
Yeah, and I think it kind of goes back to like the mise en place idea. And like once you have everything really like your systems and everything really in place, and
Yep.
here's where the salt and pepper is, so to speak.
Yep.
It's really like it really, really, really gets easy after that, but you have to kind of not let that part fall apart once it gets busier. So once you go to 15, 20, or once you get more production, you can't all of a sudden move something elsewhere without a reason or something, if that makes sense.
Um, it does make sense. Does your partner also work?
She does. She works full time also.
So you guys both full time and you want to do 25 to 30 on the side?
Yes.
I love it. That's like get ahead of life schedule. I like it.
Well, we're currently trying to like kind of like exit out of our work. We have kind of a bit of a year plan to ramp this up for about another. We've been doing it. I've been for about 8 months now, and we'd like to in another year kind of have at least replace one of our incomes.
I love it. What's your name again?
George.
George, that's right. George. Yeah, we talked earlier.
And the other thing about it, I think that we kind of thought about in the beginning is that just there's no, I don't think that rushing this helps at all. It doesn't help with the mentality. It doesn't help with anything. You have to really, at least for me, I have to really have like a long plan for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I have. Tisha, you're still here. So it's the same.
Yeah, I'm still here.
It's the same thing for like George and you and Les. Like, because the thing is, I wish I could do with you and George what I'm doing with Les right now, because it's like yesterday we sat down, we looked at her bedroom, what the dimensions are, right? And we figured out, okay, what kind of system would hold it? And she's like, okay, for me to make six figures, I need 2,000 items that are quality. And she's like, I think that the room that I have, the 10 by 10 room, is going to be the processing area where I maybe photograph and bag items, or coach, she's decided she's going to put on hangers. And then small items, she's going to use the bin system with the boxes. And then she's like, it's not going to be big enough for me to process and list. So I'm going to have an external storage center for the 2,000. And Tisha, each one of those black racks is supposed to hold 500 clothing items.
Wow.
So if you have a 8 by 30 by 8 by 8 box, supposed to hold 500 to 1,000 items per rack. So the three that you have could store 1,500 items. And especially if it was kids or clothing or dresses, it can hold more than that. But the planning of like how much money do you want to make and the size, and then the timeline, it's going to take less, like about 2 years to get to the point where all the items in the store are it's a little aggressive, but she wants $50 plus ASP, and that's like gonna, it's gonna take longer to get that many good items in a store. But yeah, that planning part is, I think the tailgate thing really kind of blew my mind. Watching the competition, because the TV show was set up so you can watch the difference between people cooking dinner service and people cooking tailgate or whatever different situation, but the cooking time is exactly the same. Chicken only takes so long to cook. It's a bigger grill, right? And and I actually think it's possible that the tailgate party food tasted better because they had like way, way, way more people helping with the prep part to get that much food ready. So it's like one of those these competitions are similar. Like all the people that were eliminated in the earlier stages, they were helping with the tailgate party. And that's how they were able to do it, because like the same person, like the same 5 people, you can't cook for 500 people. It's impossible. You need a team.
Chris, I wish you had one a series like pick one reseller, get them straight for a year, and just do like a weekend and say, I'm going to visit this person and get them up to speed, and then we're gonna visit them again 6 months to see how they're doing.
I've,
Like
I've
just to get
tried.
everything set up.
I've tried. It's just that it's such an enormous amount of work to get it all set up. It's hard to like document. Like it just, and it's also so unique. Like your space and the like I was looking, let's look at this. If we look at my video on how to do it, I'm so sad I canceled my YouTube premium subscription. I have to watch ads. Okay, so in my storage unit, right? This is 10 by 40. Oh my God, are you serious? So the reason why I cancel my YouTube premium is so I don't watch YouTube because I hate ads. Okay, so this storage system, right? This is a 10 by 40. It's the size of a 2-car garage. Okay, so in this 2-car garage in my video, I have the photo set up here in the front of it, right? If I were going to redo it, this to my left, I would have only inventory that's going to be ready to list. I use this for storage, which is a huge mistake. If I could redo it, this would only be ready to list on the left of me. But this is the size of a 2-car garage and it holds 7,000 items.
7,000
So
items.
the 10 by 40. So it's just how I would set it up if I was going to redo it is just items ready to photograph, photo station, storage, shipping. I would have photograph and ready to list and shipping as close to the door as possible, and the rest of it storage in the back. That's how I would redo it. No, Jamie, I'm
I just
good.
need to figure out what to do. Like, I know you have all these guides and stuff, and I'm following it, but then it's just, I don't know, it's just
Tomorrow,
not working.
if you have time Friday, let's just do a deep dive with you because you have enormous potential. You have all the
Okay.
space. You have a gorgeous setup that you could take amazing photos because you have the natural light coming from the back of the room.
Okay.
But like I need to what you should do before Friday is give me the dimensions of everything
Okay.
because you got to draw it on paper before you go. There's no way to
So, get the dimensions of the living room
and the
and the garage.
garage. Yeah. So if this is a little aggressive, but I would like all your inventory in your garage and nothing in your house.
Oh my God.
And
Okay.
the only thing in your house is your photo setup.
And this is on Friday, so I'm gonna have to get a helper.
No. I'm saying the plan is that you're not going to do it by Friday. On Friday, I'm going to give you the plan. You just need me the dimensions. Don't do anything yet.
Okay, okay,
I'm just saying the vision, my vision
okay.
is you only take photographs in your house. I don't want anything in there. Your house
Yeah,
is for
'cause
your house is for living.
right. That's
I'm
what
on
my
your
husband
husband.
is upset about. He said this is a swamp.
I'm
The
on your
house.
husband's side. I don't want anything in the
He said
house.
he's embarrassed. He said and nobody can even come over.
They can,
He's
but
like,
I'm just saying I want to have I want the house to be for living.
okay,
So you can only take photographs in the house. So you're gonna have a pile of stuff that's ready to list. Take it into your house, photograph it, put it into your garage for storage.
okay.
And nothing else is gonna be in the house. And your daughter and your husband are gonna be like, who are you?
So everything is gonna be in my garage. Like,
Except for the photo setup.
oh, oh, okay.
Why do you want it to, I don't want it to,
I don't
why
know how it's gonna fit. I don't know how, like, I don't
it'll
know.
fit. It'll fit.
Okay.
You have, as weird as this sounds, you have less stuff than I did.
Oh my God. And what about the bins on the rack? Just take it all off?
It's just spread out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just spread out. Trust me.
Okay.
Like Kevin probably has, if you look at his setup right now, he probably has half as much stuff as you, but because he has shelves and it's stacked, there's so much more stuff crammed into that room.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Jamie says he should have half the garage. That's very considerate of you, Jamie. I love it. He gets half the garage and the whole house back.
Oh my God.
I know, right? You're just gonna have the 2 photo lights, your camera, and the photo set up in the house. That's it.
Okay, and then what about the photo setup? Should I move it in upstairs in my office or
So,
leave it in the living room?
I'm okay with it being there. It is a little weird and not a good
Yeah, because everybody,
conversation.
if they come in, they're like, "What is
Not a good
going on?"
conversation starter. Like, oh, you have an eBay store? Are you okay?
Yeah, that's how everyone is like, "Is everything okay with you guys?" Or
Yeah, no, that
they're
I
like,
guess
"Are you guys like, do you need money? Like, do you?"
you could put it in your office. I'm okay with that. Is anybody opposed to that? I don't mind it being in our office. I just taking pictures within a lot of space is just such a glorious thing. It makes it fun.
You guys, can I help? Can I help?
All right, I gotta go. Everyone have a wonderful day.